feels like an age ago that I washed up in these shores, not knowing where I am, only rats and frogs to eat. I've got to find help soon. I won't last out here much longer. But where? Where could I possibly go? I feel like I've explored all over this swamp with no sign of civilization. Wait, that was like a 10-second walk. Have you been here the whole time?
Well, I wouldn't say I've been here the whole time. Just Monday to Friday, 8 till 5.
What does that mean? Why are you outside this graveyard?
Because it's my job. I am a customs agent for the fine realm of Misthalin.
Customs agent? What's a customs agent?
Well, I make sure that any new entrants to Misthalin aren't bringing forbidden items across the border. Where are you from anyway? Fremennik, Mauritania, Ardown, Ardugny, Ardoing?
What? I don't know where any of those are. I was attempting to make a voyage across the ocean to prove that there were other masses of land, but I got caught in a storm, and my ship was wrecked just offshore.
Well then, this is a new one. With no home region to call your own, we're going to have to confiscate all of your goods.
All I have is rat meat from trying to survive in the swamp.
All of your goods.
Okay, I guess.
Now, the Duke of Lumbridge is a kind man who allows all comers to his region, so you'll at least have a place to start. Now, you'll be wanting to complete all of the quests that you possibly can within Misthalin to make yourself a name here. After that, you'll find customs officers like myself at the border of every region who will confiscate all of the items you've obtained while completing the quests within that region. Basically, what I'm saying is that you'll have to start fresh in each region and then complete all of the quests within that region to progress.
Geez. Sounds a bit rough. What happens if I need to go back to the previous region to complete a quest or kill a certain type of monster?
That's fine, but you'll only be able to complete the quests with the things you have obtained in the region that you are currently attempting to become known in.
So basically, I have to complete every quest in the world, one region at a time, using only what I can find in each quest starting region?
Yep.
I can do that.
Okay, sure you can, buddy.
Seriously, I think I can do that.
Whatever you say. Get security to the customs desk. There's this guy standing here. Doesn't seem to be leaving.
Welcome everybody. I'm so glad you could make it. Hope the intro there was clear enough as to what the account's about. Because right now, we're going to head up to Father Eric and start our first quest, The Restless Ghost. This quest involves two co-workers, Father Eric and Father Ernie. Father Eric tells us that a run-of-the-mill priestly problem has arisen in the form of a ghost haunting his graveyard, but he just can't be bothered dealing with it at this time. He instructs us to go and bother his co-worker, Father Ernie, who is currently on annual leave, and have him deal with the problem instead. Now, you'll probably have noticed the resolution on my screen changed as soon as I accepted that first quest. That's because I had the Quest Helper plugin enabled from my Group Iron account. So I think now is a good time to talk about how we'll go about completing quests on the account. First up, there will be absolutely no Quest Helper plugin used on this account. Secondly, there will be no casual wiki lookups during quests. That basically means I won't be waltzing into every single quest knowing exactly what I need. However, I have and will be using the wiki to pre-check region requirements to make sure I don't softlock the account from progressing. Also, as one final caveat, I'm not going to stop myself from using the wiki if I get truly stuck on some kind of quest or item requirement. As much as I love watching Unguided do his thing, it's going to be too hard for me to know if something is even possible with most of the game locked at any given time. So I think that about covers how we're going to handle quests, so let's get back to it. Being the noob that I am, I accidentally took the bow and arrow here, not realizing it locks you out of the runes. Got a sweet sword and board though, so that's okay. After claiming my free gear, I had a little bit of a scatterbrained series of events. This is how they went. First I thought I better get some food for my quest. Then I figured I needed some logs to make a fire and cook the food on. Then I realized I needed some money, so I could buy an axe, so I could make a fire. So off to the goblins I went to try and make some money. And then I realized, hey, pickpocketing's a thing. On the bright side, I also remembered Iron Man armor exists. So I grabbed a set of that and then pickpocketed enough coin to buy an iron axe. After that, I figured, what the hell? Since I'm thieving anyway, I may as well get enough money to buy some basic tools as well. It was then I realized the woodcutting tutor gives you a free bronze axe. Nice. So once we finished our little misadventure, it was back to fishing some shrimp, so we have some food for the upcoming brutal quest that we were embarking on. After speaking to Father Ernie about his mortgage delinquency, we got back to talking about his asshole co-worker Father Eric and his ghost problem. Just as Father Eric had done, Father Ernie further delegated the task to us, citing his being on annual leave as the reason that he couldn't come into work today. Fair enough, I told him, and gladly accepted the amulet of ghost speak before heading back to the graveyard. Is there a man among us who has not been accosted by these rats during early questing? Once we've summoned the restless ghost and made him aware that we can understand him, he explains that some random wizard has stolen his skull, and for him to go back to his apparent home in the River Lum, that we'd need to retrieve it from the wizard's tower. So once more unto the swamp we go. Right, we're gonna grab this skull and then it's all on. You thought I was gonna run, didn't you? Well, I ain't running from my first boss opportunity. Yeah, we did not come prepared for this. But the skeleton cannot win out of principle. Oh. Not gonna lie, I didn't think it would be the skeleton who bitched out of this fight, but there you go. Now, you may have noticed my run energy takes about 3 seconds to deplete and about 42.5 business years to come back. This made us take a little detour to Draenor Village so that we could move to the next agility bracket and regen run just a little bit faster for the upcoming quests. So here's a few agility levels, and my first Mark of Grace. Not that Marks of Grace are ever going to be useful on this account due to the restrictions. And here's my first random event, which I'm going to take every single one of these to begin with because honestly they give you some pretty nutty rewards when you've got almost nothing on your account. Plus, everybody loves a bit of molly every now and then. God damn, 2 emeralds. This changes nothing. Okay, that's 12 agility, so that should be the next bracket. So now our run should regen just a little bit faster. Let's get back to questing. Thought I was supposed to go to Father Eric here for some reason, but that's what you get for side questing. Never remember where you're up to. Alright, let's put this skull back into this coffin, and this lad can yeet himself back into the River Lum for some reason. And I just gotta say, I have a soft spot for these old janky cutscenes. There's something very, very charming about them. And with that, our first quest on the account is done. And you actually get a fat stack of prayer XP for this one. That's a huge boost early. Now I'm pretty sure the prayer experience we got from that quest came from returning the skull to the coffin, so I thought I'd better go and check with Father Eric to see if he had a real tangible reward for us. But all we got were thoughts and prayers. Typical. Thought this might be a good point to start killing imps, considering we're going to need to get those beads at some point, and we don't really have an amazing spot to farm them. Now our run regeneration is a little bit better than what it was, but still not great at this point, so thought I'd better bank all my gear and move on to the next couple of quests. Now we move on to the quest. You know the one. It involves performing some grocery shopping for the Lumbridge Castle cook. We'll need to find some milk, some flour, and an egg, so that the cook can make a cake for the Duke of Lumbridge. Luckily we can pilfer these goods locally, as the total grocery bill for these 3 items would be about $354 due to all the inflation since this quest was made. After murdering our impish friend here, we can grab some milk. Then we can forget some wheat like a real pro. And there's milk and wheat acquired. And finally we steal an egg from Farmer Fred. After turning in the ingredients, the cook thanks us and says we're nowhere near important enough to sit at the Duke's table. But we'll be back, cook. We'll be back. Quest completed. Our very next quest has us helping the farmer that we just stole all of our ingredients from, Fred. To play the devil's advocate for ourselves, Fred basically just asks us to do his farming for him, and all for poverty wages. So we'll complete his task and call it even. He also warns us of some kind of monster living in his sheep paddock just to spice things up. Sharing 20 sheep in a video game is about as exciting as you can imagine. I did accidentally click on the thing though, so that was fun. Once I'd finished sharing all my sheep, I thought I'd better get rid of the goblin that was in the paddock because, you know, that can't be good for them. This gave me an immediate karmic return in the form of a random event. I thought I'd leave these in here just to make you all insecure about your own random event speed. I got some bling for my efforts. Nice. All that was left was to spin the wool into balls and then return them to Farmer Fred. So off to Lumbridge we went. After stealing indiscriminately from Farmer Fred earlier, it should come as a surprise to nobody that I murdered a chicken right in front of him before we turned in the quest. So that sheep shearer completed for a pitiful amount of crafting experience and an even more pitiful amount of gold. But hey, at least I can now craft polished buttons. Alright, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This is my first ever video of any description that I've made, so it was probably a bit rough around the edges. Let me know in the comments if there's something you think I can improve, and I'd appreciate it immensely if you left a like or even maybe subscribed. Until next time, and have a good day.